Hey, what's up guys, it's Techosaur and I'm glad to be back with this highly requested comparison between the LG C4 42-inch and the Samsung QN90D 43-inch. And the reason I want to compare those two TVs is because they can be both used for personal desk setups such as for PC, gaming consoles, working from home, and all-purpose entertainment. In case you are considering one of them and unsure what could be better for you, I hope this video answered your questions. And before getting started, each of them has already had its own separate review explaining all features, settings, etc. I also compared them to their predecessor models, so you can check them out to learn more. In this video instead, we are going to put them side by side and compare them across different scales. So let's get started first with some physical difference. For inputs, the LG C4 has 3 USB ports, an audio jack, 4 HDMI 2.1 at 144Hz refresh rate, a LAN and optical ports, as well as ports for antenna and IR blaster. As for the Samsung QN90D, we have 2 USB ports, an optical audio port, 4 HDMI 2.1, also running at 144Hz refresh rate. Also here we have a LAN and antenna ports. So the difference is that the C4 has an extra USB port and an audio jack. Both TVs have a glossy coating, and directing a white light to them, we can see that while the QN90D manages to anti-reflect objects in the room, it still gives a sort of light hollowing effect, so you can see the light spreading across all sides, which may be annoying if you have a strong light behind you. If we switch to the C4, it seems like the winner because we see less of the light blooming spreading across sides, and it relatively dims the light. But as you can see, it gives like a blue tint on top and a red one on the bottom. The QN90D just shows white as it is without giving it a coloring tint. The C4 display thickness is about 6.5mm, while the QN90D is more than double, being about 14mm thickness. In installing HDV disk stand, if you plan to install a soundbar beneath the base, you have 4.5mm clearance in height for the C4 and about 5.5mm for the QN90D. The remotes that come with them are quite different. The C4 remote is more sophisticated but traditional, having a scrolling wheel and a gyro pointer. The QN90D remote has a solar panel that makes it more eco-friendly and chargeable via USB Type-C, so you don't need any batteries unlike being the case with the C4. Now the QN90D uses Samsung NeoQLED, a MiniLED VA panel with PGR pixel array. The C4 uses LG OLED Evo. Getting to the operating system, the QN90D uses Tizen OS, and over the years it became more fluid and feature-rich with no lag whatsoever. However, the latest web OS of the C4 beats it big time, offering more features overall while running like butter smooth. Some remarkable feature of the C4 includes the possibility to use the multi-view, so you can select 2 views like apps, inputs, etc. side by side and also in PIP. The QN90D also offers that, but the C4 adds a dual PC monitor mode, which allows you to connect 2 PCs through HDMI at the same time. The QN90D can't display 2 inputs at the same time. It allows an input and a smart app only. A new feature that debuted with both of them is the AI picture customization. By using this intelligent feature, it shows a picture to choose from, and based on your selected options, it will tailor the color temperature, brightness, color saturation, etc., making it easier to tune the picture based on your preference with less effort. Both the QN90D and the C4 offer that. An exclusive feature of the QN90D is the Auto HDR remastering, which improves HDR content to become HDR-like by using a cool algorithm created by Samsung. I've already shown how it runs in console gaming like the Nintendo Switch, old movies, and anime. So check those small videos to see how cool it can turn HDR. Another feature of the QN90D is supporting Philips Hue app natively to synchronize with the TV picture. So here I got the Hue app pre-installed. However, the downside is that it asks you to pay for a subscription to use this feature. Once you have it up and running, you can synchronize the light strip to your TV image for gaming, video, music, etc. You can tune the intensity and brightness as well. This way you don't need anything to synchronize the light strip to your TV. With the C4, it's not possible as of now. It's a feature exclusive to Samsung TVs from the 2022 and up until now. Switching to HDR capabilities, the QN90D is equipped with Samsung HDR10 Plus Gaming, so it should be better than normal HDR10. Even on PC, you can see we have the HDR10 Plus Gaming option in Cyberpunk 2077. The C4 instead is using HDR10. We don't have the HDR10 Plus option, but instead it has also Dolby Vision privacy license, which is also usable with PC. Its LG response to HDR10 Plus and should be superior. However, the lack of Dolby Vision content support is holding it back because on PC the selection of games supporting Dolby Vision is really small, probably having only 3 games as far as I'm aware. But of course you can also watch content that use Dolby Vision on it, as well as gaming on Xbox Series X. So overall it will be superior as long as your content supports Dolby Vision. But HDR10 Plus has more adoption, therefore you will likely benefit more of it. And now in the common comparisons, on the left we have the C4 and on the right the QN90D. In terms of color reproduction, they are both quite good, but the QN90D is just brighter. And color tone temperature is whiter on the QN90D than the C4, which gives a bluish tint to white even though I have the color temperature tone set to default on both of them, but still they manage to show colors pretty nicely from red to green to blue. Also, gray uniformity is pretty awesome on both. Previously, Samsung panels always struggled with uniformity and often had dirty screen effect on the units I get, but the QN90D is an exception, being clear from that. As far as talking about the unit I'm testing in here, I can see zero dirty screen effect or bad uniformity. Also, the C4 is flawless. Now both support 144Hz refresh rate, but the C4 is supported at 12 pbc, while the QN90D supports 12 pbc at up to 120 Hz. In terms of panel latency, having both in game mode and 144 Hz, you can see that in the UFO motion test, the QN90D is showing a ghosting effect, while the C4 has zero ghosting effect issue. That's a huge winning point for the C4 if we are sensitive to ghosting, and in my opinion the C4 will be the best option in here. Also in this tilting test, you can see that both hold up pretty well, but the C4 is just a bit better with less trailing. However, in gaming I can barely see any issue with panel latency on the QN90D. As you can see, moving the camera, you will not even notice it as much. But it comes to personal preference, some may be more sensitive to latency, but to me it's hard to tell at 144 FPS while playing. Getting to text clarity, you can see some difference in here. The QN90D tends to have a red and blue fringing on a very small text if you zoom a lot. And also C4 give us some RGB stroke pixels. It's hard to tell which one is better, but I feel the QN90D blue and red strokes is much better than the green pixels I can see here with the C4. It just looks quite odd. Now with the viewing angles, here where the QN90D also get destroyed. You can see that as I go to the C4, circles remain in the same highlight and do not shift color. While for the QN90D, it's a different story. When you look at it straight up ahead, it's totally gorgeous. But as soon as it changes angles, it will just shift colors and wash up, reducing highlights and suddenly giving us a cheap and odd looking image. If this example isn't clear enough, here is an actual scene. You can see the C4 doesn't have any issue. You can view it from anywhere and still just fine. The QN90D looks awesome straight on. You can see Leonardo's skin is becoming more desaturated and the overall image is ruined and losing its nice highlights. The C4 maintains the image from all angles. In this another example, you can see the coffee beans are nice on both when looking straight on. For the C4, if I change position, it's still perfect. But for the QN90D, you can see how it's becoming ugly. Finally, in this example, you can see again how the C4 is totally fine. But the QN90D is changing the whole picture when looking from angles, being a VA panel. So be careful if you plan to put this TV and let others watch from sides, they will totally not enjoy it. With the C4, you can expect true blacks with infinite contrast levels, while the QN90D uses MiniLEDs plus local dimming, and surprisingly it has almost true blacks. It's also managing pretty well to dim dark areas while brightening others. It's absolutely gorgeous on both. Also, you can see more details on the QN90D, like if you look far, you see more light in the city. But in this comparison, you can see when we have a small objects in motion, how it's almost disappearing under fast motion on the QN90D, while the C4 is still showing the circle just fine. But in actual scenes, I found it to be quite decent. Now here is an image comparison. In my opinion, both are beautiful, but if you prefer a color accuracy and deeper blacks, the C4 is the choice. Instead, if you prefer a brighter, more vivid image with pretty awesome dark levels, the QN90D is the one to go with. Finally, I want to highlight something about the upscaling technology each one has. The QN90D has the NQ4 AI Gen 2 processor, which promises excellent content upscaling to 4K, and also LG is using A9 Gen 7 AI processor for 4K. In this 720p old movie, both are doing great job upscaling it to 4K. You can almost forget it's over 10 years old movie. Surprisingly, before putting the two of them side by side, I've never noticed that the C4 has such a prominent blue tinting. Only now, I can clearly see it. The QN90D is just way more color-toned accurate. I don't know how Samsung did it like this, it's just stunning. So to sum it up, both TVs are great and could be used in multi-scenarios, whether for gaming on PC or consoles, productivity, and entertainment. The QN90D being a VA panel, its main issues are viewing angles and panel latency. Otherwise, it offers stunning bright image, excellent dark levels, and vivid colors. The C4 also does an amazing job representing colors accurately, but the issue lies in being significantly dimmer since it's not using LG latest micro-lens array or MLA technologies that increase OLED brightness, and doesn't have a heatsink that could improve the brightness, so that's why too. Also, some users may be concerned about burn-in when using it for long periods in static scenes such as working, etc. But LG has implemented good features to minimize the risk, so it's less likely to get a burn-in than ever. Anyways, that was it for this comparison. I hope it was of aid to help you decide which one to pick. Please let me know in the comment section which one you prefer, and also if you have any question, please don't hesitate to drop it out. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to TechOsaur to stay updated with all my latest videos. Also, you are always welcome to join the channel dedicated Discord server for any discussion. Appreciate the support. Thanks for watching and see you guys in the next one.